And she looked at me and she said, I'm getting a really good reading about you right now. Do you mind if I tell you what I see? And I said, yeah, sure, go ahead. I just thought it was really interesting that she would say that. And I thought, it's good. I love to build rapport with people. And I said, sure, go ahead. And she goes, wow. She says, I'm seeing your aura and you've got this white light around you, like Jesus. And I'm going, yeah, right. And then she says, and I see that you have a husband who's a chemist and he's applying for a job right now in two different cities. And I was like, my husband was an MD, PhD biochemist, and he was applying for a postdoctorate in two different cities right then. And I was like, oh, really?
That got your attention,
That
huh?
got my attention. And then she said, I said, what cities, are you talking about? She says, well, in his heart of hearts, he wants to go to one of them, but you're actually going to end up at the other one. And now she had my curiosity because he and I had met when we were medical students together at Johns Hopkins, and he was 13th generation Baltimorean. I knew that that's where he wanted he really wanted to go back there. Um, and the other place he was applying was UCSD. And she said, I said, well, what city are we going to end up in? She said, well, name some cities. So I named about 10 cities. And she goes, San Diego, that's where you'll be. And she said, and you'll have a daughter while you're there. And she just started telling me all of these things about my current situation and my future that there was no way she could know. And I was able to talk her into staying because she really liked me. And she said, well, if you come back tomorrow, I'll stay. And so she stayed. Her test came back normal and she left. And we went on to move to San Diego, and I went on to have a daughter. And it was one of those things that just, it was one of those things where it was so life-changing because I went into this field wanting to understand the brain and consciousness.